The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, a patch of ocean which has supposedly caused the demise of countless ships and planes that have passed through it, and has puzzled scientists for years. The Triangle is an area of the North Atlantic Ocean between Bermuda to the north, Puerto Rico to the south, and Florida to the west. An average of 4 planes and 20 boats are said to vanish in the zone every year, leaving no trace behind. From sub-sea pyramids to hexagonal clouds and alien bases, scientists and conspiracy theorists alike have drummed up every imaginable scenario over the years to explain the mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. Here is a list of theories and stories survivors have told us over the years about the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe. Number 9. Rogue Waves. According to a Channel 5 documentary, The Bermuda Triangle Enigma, scientists now believe conditions in the area are just right for massive rogue waves, and have used simulators to demonstrate how these could put ships at risk. There are storms to the south and north which come together, said University of Southampton oceanographer Simon Boxall, and if there are additional ones from Florida, it can be a potentially deadly formation of rogue waves. The Huffington Post reports that rogue waves of this type of wave could reach 100 feet tall, which would be on par with the largest wave ever recorded. A 100-foot tsunami triggered by an earthquake and landslide in Alaska's Lichua Bay in 1958. Number 8. The USS Cyclops. How could the biggest ship in the US Navy vanish without a trace? This was the question on many people's minds in March 1918, when an enormous collier, the USS Cyclops, disappeared on a voyage between the West Indies to Baltimore. A century on, it's no closer to being answered. The Cyclops was nearly 550 feet long, with a crew of 306 people and around 11,000 tons of manganese aboard. She had been sailing successfully since 1910, traveling between the Baltic Sea, the Caribbean, and Mexico, and assisting with moving coal around the world and helping refugees. But in 1917, when America entered World War I, Cyclops became a key naval asset, transporting troops and coal to fuel other ships all over the world. In March 1918, the ship was given a new cargo, tons and tons of dense manganese ore used in steelmaking. She left Brazil loaded up with the brittle metal, then voyaged to Barbados to resupply for the long journey home to Baltimore. The last known message from the ship said simply, "Weather fair, all well." But on the 9-day journey, something went awry, and no one from the ship was ever seen or heard again, vanishing without even an SOS. Gordon DeWeese, one of the many seamen lost aboard the USS Cyclops. Throughout the decades, there have been a flurry of sometimes sensational theories about the ship's disappearance, as one among more than 100 ships and planes to have mysteriously disappeared in the so-called Bermuda Triangle, the region bounded by Bermuda, Miami, and Puerto Rico. Was the ship eaten by some beast of the deep, carried off as evidenced by UFOs, or simply scuppered by a storm? But we are sure that the Bermuda Triangle was at the heart of the disaster. We hope everyone on that ship is at rest. Number 7. Flight 19. At 2:10 p.m., 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo-bombers comprising Flight 19 took off from the Fort Lauderdale Naval Air Station in Florida on a routine 3-hour training mission. Flight 19 was scheduled to take them due east for 120 miles, north for 73 miles, and then back over a final 120-mile leg that would return them to the naval base. They never returned. 2 hours after the flight began, the leader of the squadron, who had been flying in the area for more than 6 months, reported that his compass and backup compass had failed and that his position was unknown. The other planes experienced similar instrument malfunctions. Radio facilities on land were contacted to find the location of the lost squadron, but none were successful. After 2 more hours of confused messages from the flyers, a distorted radio transmission from the squadron leader was heard at 6:20 p.m., apparently calling for his men to prepare to ditch their aircraft simultaneously because of lack of fuel. The disappearance of the 14 men of Flight 19 and the 13 men of the Mariner led to one of the largest air and sea searches to that date, and hundreds of ships and aircraft combed thousands of square miles of the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf Coast, and remote locations within the interior of Florida. No trace of the bodies or aircraft was ever found, although naval officials maintained that the remains of the 6 aircraft and 27 men were not found because stormy weather destroyed the evidence. The story of the Lost Squadron helps cement the legend of the Bermuda Triangle, an area of the Atlantic Ocean where ships and aircraft are said to disappear without a trace. The Bermuda Triangle is said to stretch from the southern U.S. coast across to Bermuda and down to the Atlantic coast of Cuba in Santo Domingo. Number 6. Bruce Gernon. Bruce Gernon is the survivor of the Bermuda Triangle. He is one lucky man who has survived the experiences from the Bermuda Triangle. He has experienced the time warp theory of the Bermuda Triangle and has lived to tell his story of survival. Bruce Gernon is only one person in the world to witness what mystery is behind the Bermuda Triangle and what the triangle creates to make things disappear. Many others have seen parts of this phenomenon of mystery and disappearance, and some have seen it completely, just like Bruce. Bruce Gernon claims he flew a beach bonanza from Andros Airport, Bahamas, to Palm Beach, Florida, 250 miles in 47 minutes. Bruce, his daughter, and Rob McGregor were in this flight. It is only after 31 years of his complete research on the triangle did Bruce Gernon discover how he had flown those 100 miles in such a short time and never seen the earth or sky around him. He claims it's because of something called electronic fog. It is said that Bruce was captured by the electronic fog, where in which there have been dozens of planes and boats to which went missing in this fog throughout history. He believes that a rare natural phenomenon may be behind paranormal happenings in the triangle. Experts say that Bruce Gernon's story of electronic fog also explores the Bermuda Triangle's connection to UFOs, a secret Navy base, and a possible link to a vanished ancient civilization. The Bermuda Triangle has claimed over 1,000 people during the 20th century itself, but has left Bruce alive so that he can tell us the real mysteries behind the Bermuda Triangle. Number 5. Atlantis. One of the more outlandish conspiracy theories centers around the Bermuda Triangle actually being the location of the mythical lost city of Atlantis. The Independent recounts one blog poster who explained, when Atlantis was destroyed, it sank to the very bottom of the ocean. While the ruined temples now play host to a multitude of underwater creatures, the great Atlantean fire crystals that once provided so much of the tremendous power and energy that was found in Atlantis still exists. Number 4. Alien. Paranormal explorers claim they found a massive crystal pyramid lurking beneath the ocean in the triangle. They implied this may be responsible for crashing ships and aircraft. The Sun explains that some writers have blamed UFOs for the disappearances, and that they believe that the aliens use the triangle as a portal to travel to and from our planet. The area is like a gathering station where they capture people, ships, and aircraft to conduct research. One of the most significant theories is that the triangle is made up of the souls of slaves who had been thrown overboard by sea captains on their journey to the States. In his book Healing the Haunted, Dr. Kenneth McCall claimed that a haunting sound could be heard while sailing in those notorious waters. Number 3. UFOs. Some writers have blamed UFOs for the disappearances. They believe that aliens use the triangle as a portal to travel to and from our planet. The area is like a gathering station where they capture people, ships, and aircraft to conduct research. Number 2. Projects. The U.S. Navy's Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center is located in the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. It's used as a hub to test submarines, weapons, sonar, secret projects, and reverse-engineered alien technology. And some say it's behind the disappearances. Some, like Australian scientist Dr. Carl Kruznicki, simply blame human error. According to Lloyd's of London and the US Coast Guard, the number of planes that go missing in the Bermuda Triangle is the same as anywhere in the world on a percentage basis, he argues. This potentially caused businessman Harvey Conover to lose his sailing yacht, the Renovok, as he sailed into the teeth of a storm south of Florida on January 1st, 1958. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. This picture's photoshopped as we can clearly see it, but we got the idea of why the editor of this picture got the idea of making this edit, as the Bermuda Triangle is literally a triangle. But we have to keep in mind that the Bermuda Triangle is so huge it stretches to hundreds of miles, and no plane under 200 miles can fly above or near it, as the air traffic consultants make sure of it. That shows that the picture is not real. No real picture of the area has ever surfaced, and most pictures on the internet are fake. The Bermuda Triangle is one of 2 places on Earth where compasses point to true north. Number 1. The Bermuda Triangle is one of 2 places on Earth where compasses point to true north. The geographic North Pole, rather than magnetic north, which is the shifting magnetic North Pole. Some theories have suggested that the agnic line, the point where the magnetic and true north are perfectly aligned, passes through the Bermuda Triangle, resulting in a magnetic phenomenon, which could explain cases where pilots and ship captains claim their compasses cease to work properly, causing them to veer off course. The problem with this theory is that early 18th century scientists discovered that the agnic line shifts each year. While it did pass through the Bermuda Triangle at one point, it now goes through the Gulf of Mexico instead. That is our list of theories and events that have happened in Bermuda Triangle, and how they couldn't have happened. Would you ever want to fly over the area? Tell us in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.